Paul of Kentucky. He is joining me. He is Kentucky's junior senator, elected in 2010. And you probably know this. It bears repeating here. Senator Paul is opposed to raising taxes, raising anyone's taxes, even as some, as we've been talking in the last 24, 48 hours, some in his party are flirting with compromise on that issue. Senator Paul, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Good to be with you.
You know, we did just get a little update from the White House on the fiscal cliff negotiations. So just take a listen to this, if you would.
The president spoke with the Speaker of the House as well as the Senate Majority Leader over the weekend. He will continue to have discussions with those two leaders as well as Leader Pelosi and Senator McConnell in the days and weeks coming forward. I don't have a schedule for those conversations to provide to you, but he will speak with them and meet with them as appropriate.
Senator, all this talking, will you tell us, tell Americans, if you're in the loop, if you are privy, tell us who's talking to whom in these fiscal cliff negotiations and where are the talks happening?
Well, you know, I'm not included in those talks. I've been talking with the folks in my state in Kentucky, though, and they're not interested in, you know, raising taxes. They think it's a bad idea for the economy. The only way to have a stimulus to the private sector is to leave more money in the private sector. The other thing that folks in Kentucky don't understand is that why is it a fiscal cliff to cut spending? Most people in our state think that we're spending too much money up here and that we should cut spending. In fact, the majority of Congress voted for this sequester. Why was it a good idea a year ago and now it's not a good idea?
On spending and spending cuts, it sounds to me you may actually have something in common with the president, which I want to get to. But you mentioned, you know, the people in your great state of Kentucky, and look, they know, and we're all hoping they're all out and about shopping, right? It's holiday season, and in terms of the timing with this deal, you know, hopefully getting done before January 1, a lot of people want to avoid the tax increase that will automatically happen as people are paying those holiday bills, right?
But here's my question. If it's bad to raise taxes on everyone, why is it good to raise it on half of the nation's income? Everybody says, oh, it's just a few rich people. Well, those rich people are half of the nation's income, about 40% of the nation's income. So if it's a bad idea to raise it on 100% of the nation's income, why is it a good thing to raise taxes on 40% of the nation's income? I think it's bad to take more money out of Kentucky, more money out of my town in Bowling Green. I'd just soon leave it there. And I'm not too concerned who has it. If the people who earned it still have it, whether they're rich, middle class, or poor, it's in the private sector and it's in Kentucky buying goods. I don't want it sent up here because I've seen what they do up here. Last year, we spent $3 million to study monkeys on meth. We spent $2 million.
I don't think a lot of people in this country want to hear that, and I think most people would agree that is a heck of a waste of time. But when we talk about this, Senator Paul, and we talk about taxes and we talk spending, I mean, look, the president has set this goal of $4 trillion in debt reduction over the next 10 years. I mean, $4 trillion, that's not chump change. Would it be possible?
Well, yes,
would it be
no.
possible?
Yes,
hang on, Senator. Would it be possible that you and the president maybe agree on some of the means to getting to the $4 trillion? And if so, where might you agree?
Well, I think where I'm willing to compromise is that I'm one of the conservatives who believe that national defense is very important, but I'm willing to say that not all money spent on the military is sacred, so I would compromise there.
Okay.
But I'm not willing to raise taxes when we're still spending $300,000 a year on robotic squirrels to watch rattlesnakes attack a robotic squirrel that doesn't wag its tail to see whether or not the rattlesnake will still attack the robot squirrel. $300,000. $2 million spent on how we can convince Chinese prostitutes not to drink so much on the job.
Let me cut you off because I can hear the Americans shaking their heads. But let me ask you this: if you're okay compromising on defense, what about possibly Senator Paul raising the Medicare retirement age? It's been put out there in previous negotiations.
Yes.
Both Democrats and Republicans saying, you know, raise it from 65 to 67. Would you be on board with that?
Yes, but I don't think we have to trade tax increases for entitlement reform because we should fix entitlements because they're broken.
But shouldn't Democrats give and Republicans give at the same time? I mean, I know Democrats say, hey, we won the election, but let's be fair.
But the way I look at it is entitlements are broken, and it's not my fault. It's not Democrats' fault. It's because your grandparents had too many babies. It's because we're living longer. These are just facts. Why not just fix entitlements instead of saying, oh, I will only fix entitlements if you let me tax rich people? Well, taxing anyone in a weak economy is not good. The way revenues will increase in our country and the way we will balance our budget or have less of a deficit is to let the economy economy grow. Raising tax rates on rich people will not help the economy grow. In fact, it'll send the economy in the wrong direction.
I understand. I know you signed a pledge, and you are sticking to that pledge with regard to the people you represent. So let me just move on and ask you this, Senator. You have indicated you are interested in running for president. Tell me this here. How interested are you? And have you taken, I know you smile because you've been asked it before, but let me just ask you as well, because I want to know, have you taken any concrete actions to start lining up support? Honest answer, please.
Well, you know, what I have said is I won't deny that I'm interested. A little bit different than I am interested.
Okay, let's read between the lines. What does that really mean, sir?
Let's read between the lines. I want to be part of the national debate. I think my party, the Republican Party, is shrinking. We're in danger of becoming a dinosaur. We're not competitive on the West Coast. We're not competitive in New England. And we weren't competitive around the Great Lakes. So we need a new type of Republican. I think that involves some of the ideas of libertarian-leaning Republicans, people who believe in a less aggressive foreign policy, people who believe that we're not going to deport 12 million Hispanic folks.
Hang on, Senator Paul, let me go back to something you said. Why are you afraid of becoming a dinosaur?
Well, because when you look at it, we're not competitive in huge areas of the country. You know, some of the biggest states, California, New York, Illinois, we're not competing anymore. In fact, we don't even advertise there. And once you give up those electoral votes, we're getting down to where we have to win Ohio every time. We have to win Florida and Ohio every time. And so really what we need to do is be competitive throughout the United States. And I think young people want a less aggressive foreign policy. They don't want to put people in 20 years in jail for marijuana use or nonviolent crimes. Okay. And I think they want a little bit different approach to immigration.
Okay, you say you want to be part of the national dialogue, perhaps a bigger part of it. We shall see. Senator Rand Paul, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And now to the face